Today's video is going to be different. I came across this story on Blind. Blind is the social network. It's popular amongst tech employees. There's probably other industries supported there as well, but it's like social network. You can talk to people in your industry, in your company. And someone's saying they've pretty much been pipped right after onboarding. So PIP is a performance improvement plan. So maybe some employee hasn't been performing well according to the manager. They put you on this plan, and if you don't pass whatever targets are given in the plan, then it's a layoff. In fact, most people in the industry see it more as a layoff signal. Like if you are on a PIP, apparently the odds of succeeding are pretty much low, and you just pretty much start looking for a job. Anyway, we have this person saying they recently joined the A in FANG. Obviously, FANG has two A's, so I don't know if this is them being intentionally not trying to specify whether it's Apple or Amazon. But from the sounds of it, it does sound like Amazon, but we don't know for sure. So I don't know how true this story is, but I've been looking at the comments. It does seem true. So, and it's a recent one, April 10th this year. So the manager during the one-to-one told me that due to performance, he's made a plan for me and my friend. For me and my friend specifically told me to ask him if I'm on what's called focus. Focus sounds like an Amazon term. It says I'm going to guess it's a he. He says his manager told him he's expected to complete this plan within a certain time frame, yada yada yada. But basically the manager said he should figure it out on his own and urge other teammates not to provide guidance, which is just very odd. Almost like, well, I guess in one sense they're trying to see if this individual can be independent and figure out the task. Perhaps the tasks were considered simple enough that the employee should be able to figure out themselves. Or it could be the manager's really trying to get rid of this employee. Maybe they made a mistake similar to this. There's only one A in fact, but who knows? And apparently he doesn't have access to repositories or wikis, internal wikis. So Confluence is like one of those wikis used in some companies. And yeah, he's asking if it's going to be fired. Obviously, this doesn't sound good. I looked at a few of the comments. This guy says he's a lawyer, and apparently a lot of firms are conducting layoffs via PIPs and so on. Some people think it's not a real story. Like, how do you get PIPed in a month? But if Canada is really bad, it could be true. But it could also be this hire to fire phenomenon. One thing I'll say is you can't blindly trust, everything you read online, because there's people here saying, it's hearsay. Like this happened to a colleague of mine at Amazon, Apple, who knows, probably Amazon. They've gone through the PIP process and got laid off. And there's also someone here saying they think it's 100% Amazon and they've seen it in their network. And if you're in this situation, there's some things you can do actually. Escalating to HR to create an audit trail, consulting with a lawyer, documenting everything. Hopefully you never find yourself in this situation. Regardless of if that story is true, getting pipped in your first month, like during your month of onboarding, is extremely rare. You'd have to be a really bad hire for that to happen. Companies do have this thing called an unregretted attrition. So essentially a company could say, we are okay with 5 to 6% of employees leaving. And some companies even have yearly quotas for attrition. I've even heard of cases where, if you ask these companies, they'll claim this non-official policy where they have these yearly quotas, and if these quotas aren't met by managers, they might have to forcefully make sure they make up for that in the next cycle, which could be a quarter or the next year or whatever. So some managers can be, and this is reported, again, companies would typically deny this, have quotas for attritions, and they might use PIPs to facilitate this. One thing I've heard about this hire to fire, which is why I wonder if this story is true, is some managers might have a team where everyone's really performing well and they want to protect those people. They want to keep those people so they can meet their targets. So what they might do is hire someone only to fire them. Obviously, only very unscrupulous types of people would do this, but they might want to use that person as a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. And there have been reports of this happening to people. I've never experienced it. I've never seen anyone have this, but you never know. So my advice would just be for you guys to beware of these things. Sometimes the basis of performance isn't always like, so if you just work hard and do a good job, that might not be good enough. You want to make sure your contributions have an impact in terms of what your manager and the company cares about. You want to make sure it's visible. You want to document your achievements and let it be known. You can't just be the silent guy that does, guy or girl, that does their job and works really hard, but no one sees what they're doing, or they're not having impact that's appreciated. And generally speaking, you should always be ready to switch jobs, because you never know what might happen. There could be a mass layoff for non-performance reasons, and you don't want to be in this tough job market and then having to start from scratch in terms of interview preparation. So if you're on the job market, even though you have a job or you don't have a job, you've probably heard about the Coditioning platform. If you're a subscriber, if you're kind of new to the channel, we do have this platform. We help you get ready. If you're a software engineer, production engineer, you want to get interview ready, we help you via mock interviews. We have content for learning different topics: system design, production engineering, dynamic programming, low-level design. We do mock interviews, we do diagnostics. So definitely have a look. It's very easy to book a mock interview. Just choose your target company and just follow the guide. If you like this video, you found it useful, or you want to see some similar type of content, not just on the good things about the tech industry, but also the dark side and how to protect yourself, subscribe, give this video a like, and be sure to leave a comment. Do you have experiences of being pipped and maybe surviving, or being pipped and maybe not making it through? What was your story? Do you have friends who've been through this? Share your story in the comments. See you in the next video.